still remember the first time we came here? We even brought offer, and when we told her that Rex Lapis had been assassinated, she immediately threatened to squash Liyue Harbor. We probably don't need to bring any offerings now that we've gotten to know her pretty well, right? Huh? Traveler, did something catch your eye? Whoa, what a pretty lady! Is she also here to visit Cloud Retainer? Yeah, you're right. All it takes is one look and you can tell she's someone Okay, but if we're both friends of Cloud Retainer, then we're basically friends by association. Helping you make more connections is a part of Paimon's job as your Paimon is Paimon! Paimon doesn't think we've met, but we're—
You two... What is this tomfoolery? Has this shift in forms...
Wait, you're... Huh? You're the illuminated bird?
Oh, donning human form is scarcely any test of one's abilities. As for your confusion, what...
So, you're in...
Well, one has made plans to pay a visit to some disciples at Liyue Harbor.
You? Worrying about keeping a low profile? You're the one who likes to... Hey, didn't we agree not to bring that up unless she asked?
Oh? So you have taken care to follow the proper...
Well?
One has never found oneself lacking in basic comforts. On the contrary.
That kinda makes Paimon feel a little guilty for trying to keep them for herself. Right. So by disciples, you must mean Ganyu and Shenhe. It's also...
One planned to extend the invitation even if you had not raised the matter yourself. Shenhe, however, one would first inquire as to the reason behind...
Yeah, we just found ourselves missing you and wanted to see how you were doing. We were hoping you'd tell us one of your stories.
Is that so? If there are no urgent matters at hand, then let us make haste for Liyue Harbor. Ganyu is likely still...
Sounds great! Then let's all go to Liyue Harbor!
Ganyu has been quite busy with work as of late. One can count on one talon the number of times she returns to Mount Outsong each year. Shenhe has also secured employment recently. In her correspondence with me, she wrote that she shall have no need to return for the foreseeable future. Did they think one was so easily mollified? One shall investigate everything with one's own eyes and decide for oneself if their living conditions are satisfactory.
We're almost at Weihai Pavilion. Hey, do you think Ganyu will be shocked to see... Guess we have no idea if Shenhe and Ganyu have ever seen her in this form before. Wait, where did she go? Why are you just standing there, Cloud Retainer?
Quietly now. One shall stay here. You two...
But why?
If one were to proudly proclaim one's presence, Ganyu would surely profess herself otherwise unoccupied and drop everything to attend. One does not wish to trouble her. Conversing vicariously via you two shall suffice.
Fair enough. Makes sense. All right, then. We'll just pass it.
Cloud Retainer?
Oh,
Oh, busted.
Is that lady someone you know, Ms. Gu?
She is indeed. I'm sorry, Huixin, but could...
Oh, not to worry, Miss Ganyu. I'll make...
Thank you, Huixin.
It's been a while, Ganyu.
Greetings. What brings you here today? And Cloud Retainer, too. It's been quite some time since...
you are quite mistaken. One is not acquainted with this Cloud Retainer.
Huh?
Seems she's not buying it.
That was but a simple test. One did not expect you to...
But recognizing you is
An apt observation. One was simply passing you a visit while in the area.
Wait, Paimon wasn't aware of any important... Cloud Retainer's right! We've still got something.
Oh, is that so? But it's been so long since we last saw you.
One simply desired to see you and had no intention of interrupting your...
I understand.
While one acknowledges the amount of work that you have to deal with every day, one must also remind you... It still makes one nostalgic to see you as you are now, respected and independent.
Cloud Retainer!
If you insist. We are running short on time.
Wow, you've been to so many new places since the last time we spoke. Also, forgive me for my presumptuousness, Cloud Retainer.
A human name? Huh. You raise a valid...
You really think so? Not that you're...
You presume to know the extent of one's illustrious achievements. One would hardly think such a thing.
Canyon?
I assume that's a reference to an adeptus of years past would rise with the clouds and rest with the moon.
Oh, that sounds super cool! Paimon feels like only the most powerful of Adepti...
Actually, those lines were originally written to describe Cloud Retainer herself.
Huh? Wait, so you're really that powerful?
And what of it? Did you truly take one to be nothing?
Not exactly.
To be fair, Cloud Retainer rarely speaks of her past accomplishments. The tales of her past... It is said that once, a long, long time ago, there was a severe... Although I did not live through such tragedy, simply reading about it is enough. On top of the drought, a noxious gas also began to spread through the land. If not for Cloud Retainer's effort, the books had this to say about what happened. Upon arrival, the Adeptus borrowed the wind to retain the clouds.
Wow. That's incredible!
Mortal records add embellishments to dramatize past events.
Even so, you stopped an entire drought! Can you... Oh, Paimon suddenly has a lot more respect for you. So it was Paimon's bad for...
How laughable. A name is but a simple label we can...
That's a relief. In that case, Paimon will...
Well, that is quite enough ancient history for now. Ganyu, have you had word from Shenhe? One has heard that she procured a job recently. Have you any thoughts on her workplace? Moreover, does she find herself overly inundated with work? Is she allowed...
That is a lot of questions.
There is no cause for concern, Cloud Retainer. Wanmin Restaurant's business has been booming recently. So, with Chef Mao being swamped with customers, and...
I see. Most excellent indeed. One has had the pleasure of being introduced to the... Now, it is almost time to partake...
Huh? But didn't you just say that you...
Can that wait until after we've eaten?
You may return to your work, Ganyu. One shall see to this matter on one's own.
Of course, Cloud Retainer. Please, take care. Traveler, Paimon?
See you around, Ganyu! Whew. Paimon was pretty quick on the uptake there, don't you think? As soon as you mentioned important business to attend to, Paimon realized that you were just looking to cut the conversation short and not take too much of Ganyu's time. Is Paimon right?
No, in fact, it was not an excuse. One is indeed visiting Liyue Harbor for an important purpose.
Wait, for real?
The moment is not yet upon us. Still, the truth will be revealed to you in time.
Huh. She really seems to be playing up the whole mysterious Adeptus thing right now. Is it because we just heard that cool story about her powers?
You get what I'm saying, right?
Yeah, how can I not? Not even fine food is enough to distract from the present.
Oh, I'm far more interested in getting her details than ordering any dishes.
You do it.
No. I think you should. Wait, she's...
What can I get for you today?
Greetings, miss. I was just wondering if you...
What would you like to order?
2 servings of more meat to go. Good chat. Bye.
Welcome. It's been a while. May I take your order?
Don't welcome us as guests and greet us as old friends in the same line.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and this is?
This is Miss Yun.
Master?
One does not recall ever revealing this form to you before. How were you able to ask?
I've trained and lived with Master for more than 10 years. I would recognize... Is something the matter, Master?
Hardly. Hardly. One simply learned of your employment for...
And check out the great food, too.
Indeed. It's almost lunchtime. My apologies. I'm still on the clock.
Well, if it isn't the Traveler in Paimon. The lunch rush isn't in yet, Shenhe. So I've got things covered for now. Go ahead, sit down and enjoy some time with your friends.
Thank you, Chef Mao.
Woohoo!
It is just as one expected. Still, the work here entails dealing with quite a varied group of people. Has this been difficult for you, Shenhe?
It's been manageable so far. I sometimes run into strange people.
Seems like you've been making progress. So by dealing...
First, I try to talk sense into them. If that doesn't work, I threaten...
How should I...
Oh, a sensible plan. One is gladdened to see you
And you, Master? How have you been?
Simply marvelous. Though Mount Outsong has scarcely enjoyed your presence recently.
I see. Just as expected. I have missed Master quite a bit, too. Even though work has been busy lately, I've already had a conversation with
Oh, you did?
Whoa. Her mood shot up just like that.
By the way, Master, since you are in Liyue Harbor...
Indeed. She is similarly preoccupied with her work.
Ganyu told us the story of Cloud Retainer's name. It was amazing. We never knew how...
I see. In that case, allow me to also share a story about Master's past.
Oh?
Is that a problem, Master? I believe this...
No, not a problem. One was simply caught off guard. But no matter. Please, proceed. One is most curious to see how much of one's own conversational prowess you possess.
Master once participated in a race against Mooncarver. After Mooncarver lost, he insisted that Master's ability. In response, Master agreed to forego flying in return for being able to use one of her devices in the race. Mooncarver accepted.
What kind of device was it?
It was a mechanical vehicle made out of iron. What was it called again?
Oh, you refer to the bicyclical Thunder Flashmobile. One spent 49 days conceptualizing and crafting it. And need only... Oh, it boggles the mind why Mooncarver ever supposed he might best me in a... Alas, the one flaw of my mechanism lay in its weakness against mountainous terrain. One was thwarted mere seconds from victory, when it was thrown off course and failed to make it across the final stretch.
Master, that was the end of that story.
Is that so? With you gone, one has seldom felt the...
Have you been lonely, Master?
Lonely? At one's age, entire human generations come and go in the blink. 'Tis a most foreign sentiment. The mere mention of it is preposterous. What is the reason for that look upon...
It's nothing. It's just... Well, Paimon gained a lot of respect for you after listening to that story of you summoning the rain and everything. Paimon's just a little bit confused. Which one of the two is the real...
To me, they are both Master. One is the Master that's widely revered by the people, while the other is...
One finds oneself exalted yet again with sweet words of praise and flattery. This is not to say that your words paint an inaccurate picture. One has always lived by a single ideal.
She got like, what, 2 sentences of flattery?
Do you have any empty tables?
Hey there, could we get another fish stew?
I'm hearing more guests come in. I should get back to work.
All right, good luck with the lunchtime rush, Shen.
Mm-hmm. I'll try my best.
So much yummy food! Paimon's gonna feast!
One is fond of all kinds of delicacies and delights. The dishes here demonstrate no shortage of culinary skill. Their unique flavor profile has left one more than...
Everything's so tasty! A bit too hot at times, but still super tasty.
I'm sorry, miss, but our tables are full.
Shall we try somewhere else, Granny?
But it smells so delightful. Can we really not eat here?
Well, you could always check with some of the other guests and see...
Okay, I'll ask around. Excuse me. Would you mind letting us share a table with you? There are no empty tables. Ah, well, Paimon doesn't mind. What about you guys? Great! Thanks so much. My name is Shuyu, and this is my... Granny? Yep. Is there something wrong with that? No, Paimon's just a bit surprised. Yeah. A lot of people compliment Granny on her youthful looks, but she's actually much older than she... Granny? Why don't you take a seat? Come on, it's not polite to...
Huh. Have we met?
No.
Tis a fated meeting, then. Please, take a seat.
What would you like to eat, Granny? I can order for you.
I want braised earthworms. They always pop up out of the ground after a rain.
No, not this again. Granny... Braised earthworms? Well, that sounds weird. Do people act... Right, that's what Paimon was need any help? Help? Oh, do you mean with Granny? Thanks, that's nice of you to offer. Granny has pretty bad dementia, so her memory's getting worse. Actually, her memory's been bad ever since I was little. But it's gotten so bad lately that they died young. It's just me. Oh, but it's okay. Don't feel bad. Granny loves me a lot, and I love her a lot too. Wow, you're really tough. You're too kind.
And me? What about me?
You're tough too, Granny. Plus, you're really gentle, and you're always there for me.
Yes, and it's hardly as if I forget everything. I still remember the important things. I remember now. It was a dream. I had a dream where everything was dark.
Huh? That sounds super important.
It was just a dream, so I forgot about it. You know, I believe I've had this dream a great many times.
Wait, so you have a reoccurring dream where someone's talking to you? That sounds spooky. Oh, does that mean you're possessed?
Unlikely. Her eyes are clear, and her breathing remains calm and level.
Are you sure?
Who do you take me for? Is one not an adept?
Huh, you're right. Paimon almost forgot you're the expert. In that case, do you still remember?
Not anymore. Although, I have
a younger version of Gray. This is just getting weirder and weirder. What is going on here?
As one said, fate must have brought us together. You may leave.
Are you sure? So, what are your names? Paimon's Paimon.
Just Shenyun is fine.
Thank you all so much for offering to help. But first, I'm sorry for asking, but, Oh, we don't need any payment for this. Thank you so much. You're welcome. But Miss Shenyun, what exactly can we do to help out this granny? All we have to go off is that dream. Where do we start?
That is elementary. Since her dreams portray her younger self, then we shall retrace the steps of her youth. Once we have revisited those
Sounds like a plan. So, Granny, do you remember which places you went to when you were young?
Why, of course I do. The heavens above, the earth.
Okay, taking that as a no. I might have an idea. Once, when I was really little, my dad told me that Granny used to be a martial artist heroine who saved loads of people from a disaster. If it's true, then maybe they wrote about it in the history. A martial arts heroine? Oh, Shincho knows tons about Liyue's chivalric traditions. If anyone...
Are you leaving already? But
I'll go order some food, Granny. If there's nothing on the menu you
It seems we must part ways for now. The Traveler and Paimon are bound for the Feiyun Commerce Guild, while Yuendai and Shuyu shall remain here and partake of their lunch. As for myself, I have matters to discuss with Streetward Rambler.
Streetward Rambler?
Precisely. Let us meet at Yujing Terrace.
It's you two. What brings you here?
Shincho! Great, we found you! We wanted to ask you about something.
That's not a whole lot of information to go off of. I can't pinpoint her identity from your description alone. But considering her age, I am reminded of a nameless
Nameless heroine?
That's right. The novels often speak of a great drought from 50 years ago. As the people suffered, a nameless heroine appeared. All they knew was that she always acted alone. Later, though, she supposed after the drought ended, the heroine and the exorcist left the public eye and began living a reclusive life in the mountains. The way this nameless heroine faded from fame into obscurity later in life is not too dissimilar from Miss Yuendai.
Thanks a lot, Shincho. We knew it'd be worth talking.
It's nothing at all. Just something I came across while reading. I did...
Well, Paimon still thinks that's super cool. Oh, wait. Shincho, if you've read up on her, do you know of any...
Let me think. In the novels, the nameless heroine always appeared near one of 3 places. Wangshu Inn, perhaps the real-life heroine who inspired the character, was also often seen near those 3 places. That would explain why those look... You're welcome. To be honest, I found some parts of the story confusing when I first came across it. It's rare for a chivalric hero to fade into obscurity during their lifetime, even after retiring from the public eye. I've never understood why someone would go to such lengths to erase themselves from public memory.
We'll be sure to tell you if we manage to uncover the truth.
That's a deal. Perhaps, behind the truth of it all...
Paimon feels like we just learned so much from Shincho. A drought, a nameless hero... Oh, right! There's a drought in this story, too!
Well, they used to be. But people have long since developed methods to prevent... So while droughts do happen from time to time, they are rarely regarded as true disasters. The drought 50, the crops withered, the streams ran dry, and the monsters in the mountains became rabid and agitated.
That sounds awful.
Yeah, and that's exactly why the nameless heroine was so beloved. She must have been someone still. As terrible as that drought was, they say that back in those days, disasters were both more severe and more common. Only the strongest... Do you have any other questions?
We're good for now. We're just going to head back and meet up with Miss Xianyun and the others again. Paimon hopes that Granny Yuendai will be able to remember more of her past. She used to be a great hero. Anyway, we'll be off now. See you some other time.
It's no problem at all.
I have recorded the tune that you requested. I hope it will be of help to you.
Oh, thank you. Streetward... Ping. What has amused you?
Oh, it's no serious matter. I was just reminiscing about the last time I saw you in this form. Time has wrought such change in the...
Time has little bearing on one's existence, nor has one keenly felt its effects whilst dwelling at Mount...
Oh, why so formal all of it?
Well, Approximately how much more would one need to afford?
It does not require...
Cloud Retainer, Madam Ping! What are you two talking about?
Nothing save for some trivial matters.
Shinto has a theory, but let's save it for when Chuyu and Miss Yundai have joined up with us.
Do not be troubled, young lady.
Thank you so much. What do you think, Chuyu? Does it match up with what you know of your granny?
According to the story, the nameless heroine eventually fell in love with an exorcist from Mount Tianhe. I don't have many memories of him, but there was this one time I found a box in her attic full of a bunch of weird sigils. I think so too. Granny might remember something once she's returned to a familiar place.
What marvelous tea. It's as if I was taking a stroll in the mountains.
Is that so? Then please drink as much as you like. There's no need to hurry.
Thank you.
Okay, since we have the time, can I ask you something?
Sure thing. What would you like to know?
I have a secret I want to tell you.
What's wrong, Chuyu?
Well, I've been kind of meaning to ask ever since we started.
Oh! About that.
Well, you guys just seem super special. Plus, I think I might have...
Oh, must have been a slip of the tongue. Xianyun...
One is indeed an adeptus.
Huh?
I knew it. Well, one time when I was a little kid, I had this super high fever, and Granny wasn't around. I was feeling all icky and gross. But then this snowy white crane she put me on her back and flew me to her cool Adeptus house and fed me. I really wanted to thank her, but I was too sleepy to stay awake. So I just kind of wanted to ask if maybe any...
A pure white illuminated crane? The only two we've ever met are... Have you ever met one that's pure white, Cloud Retainer?
Never has one met an adeptus with such features. Once or
That's weird. Was it really just a dream then? Well, even if it was just in my head, it doesn't matter that much anyway.
Leave it to us! Now that we know the 3 locations, we just need to visit them. Let's go to Wangshu Inn first!
Okay, I'll go get Granny.
Wangshu Inn.
Do you remember this place, Granny?
Yes. The fish here is very delicious. And if you look out into the distance, I believe I used to have a room here.
I'll come with.
Paimon's still having some trouble understanding what she's talking about, but if she's so familiar with this... Whoa! Shao! What are you doing here all of a sudden? You scared the living...
I sensed a non-human presence and decided to come take a look. If you're here, then there's likely no trouble afoot. It's been a while, Cloud Retainer. I see you have returned to your previous form. I have indeed. I fought alongside her in this form on many occasions.
Oh, wow! What was she like during the war? Oh, wait, let Paimon take a guess. Was it anything like this?
Behold, the glory of one's newest invention, the Bang Bang continuous fire mechanism.
An impressive imitation.
Paimon knows her all too...
Even so, Cloud Retainer was not always as ostentatious as you describe. You may be unaware the Archon War reached its peak after Guizhong's death. The Cloud Retainer who fought beside me in those devastating battles was taciturn and solemn.
A Cloud Retainer who barely talks? Paimon can't picture it. But what happened after that? If you were so powerful in your human form...
Once one had bid farewell to the world of mortals, what use would one still have for such a shape? When dwelling between mountain and forest, away from the struggles and troubles of the mortal world.
After the war, Cloud Retainer retired to Mount Outsong, only revealing herself, although I do believe there was an occasion some 30-odd years ago, when she decided—
One believes there is little need to relive bygone matters.
Granny, are you okay?
Back then—
Perhaps this conversation should end here. Should you encounter any trouble, you need only call my name.
Everyone! I think Granny is finally beginning to remember—
Slowly now. Calm your mind.
a long time ago,
So what Shinto said was true! You did fall ill! Was that why you went into hiding?
I don't remember. I'm very sorry, but I can't even remember the name of my I was confined to my room in Wangshu Inn, where I spent many days unconscious. I'd come to One day, I met a traveling merchant. Upon hearing of my illness, he sold me a bottle. He told me that the pills were concocted using Adepti blood and could be used to alleviate my symptoms.
Wait, but if your illness remained dormant for several decades, are you saying that, and it was all thanks to the pills that you managed to keep the symptoms?
I'm sorry, I don't.
Hey, you're not useless. You've done
Oh, fret not, dear child.
The recovery of a person's memories is a gradual process. Finding pieces of one's past.
Next location. There isn't really a landmark there, so where should we start? Oh, after all, if she was there for any length of time, then she would have stayed somewhere. Do you remember anything about this place, Gwen?
Let me think. I feel like but I don't think I stayed here too long.
Got it. That's okay. There are still plenty of other...
Wait a second. If I remember correctly, I believe I brought...
Paimon sees an abandoned house! Why don't we take a break over there?
This place.
Did you remember something, Granny?
I remember. Shuyu, it was a moonless night. I had been injured, so your grandpa was supporting me. We fled together with some being in the fog behind us in hot pursuit. I had exhausted my strength when the labor pains came on, so we took refuge in this. I remember that night. I remember falling to... I alone am the source of this sin. But...
Sin? Oath?
I don't know. I don't remember. I only remember praying in the darkness with all my strength. Eventually, the house was filled with the sound of my baby's first cries. That baby was
My dad?
He was my pride and joy. And so are you, Shuyu. But you're always going to be different from me. I
don't care what you might have done, Granny.
You're too sweet, Shuyu. I'm lucky to have you with me. All right. Let's not stand around any longer.
If one recalls correctly, the next place should be Qingyun Peak. Yuandai, how fares your health?
I may be a bit slow, but I'll do my best to keep up. I'm sorry to keep everyone waiting.
Climb on. I shall carry you to the top. Oh. such lightness of weight?
All those who grow old grow frail in the end, do they not? First, you lose your memory, then your health. Eventually, you end up losing everything. My only wish is to depart this world with a lucid mind, to free myself of this torment and the burden it places upon others.
Fret not, you have my aid in this endeavor.
We're finally here. Does this place feel familiar to you, Granny?
Let me see. How strange. Have I lived here before? When we were at Wangshu Inn and the abandoned house earlier, though I couldn't remember everything, I still felt a sense of familiarity. I could eat, but here, I don't have that feeling. Perhaps I did come here in the past, but it just didn't leave a strong impression.
But did the stories get it wrong then? Yeah, that's true. But Paimon was hoping this place would jog Granny Yuendai's memory, just...
I'm sorry to disappoint you too.
It's alright. We're not going to give up yet. We'll figure something else out.
Thank you. If only I could Huh? That way. What's that mountain?
Oh, let Paimon look! Huh? Isn't that Mount Outsong? Looks like we've come full circle.
Mount Outsong. Mount Outsong.
Granny, are you okay? Don't push yourself, Granny. It's okay if you can't remember.
Mount Outsong,
Mount Outsong holds some familiar...
It does, but
Are you feeling unwell?
My head... It feels all heavy.
Cloud... Miss Xianyun, is there anything you can do?
Let us go to Mount Outsong.
But...
Fret not, all will be well. You may leave the rest to me. I've prepared something that can aid you in suppressing the fear in your heart and restoring...
Wait, really? What did you do?
I never leave anything to chance. All will reveal...
Come on, just tell Paimon already! What's this thing you've...
Here, this is it.
Huh? But isn't this the mechanism that you were tinkering with when we first got here?
Precisely. A recent one at that. I am most pleased with the result. I call it... It periodically releases a soft breeze, which when paired with a gentle adeptal tune, can help the listener subconsciously, soothing agitation and anxiety, relieving exhaustion and insomnia.
Whoa, what a cool gadget! But if you had it all along, we could have come to Mount Outsong right off the bat and saved Paimon.
How preposterous. Had Yuendai not recalled much of her past, we Adepti can only help those who first resolve to help themselves. Had she...
Paimon thinks she gets it now.
As previously mentioned, a gentle adeptal tune is required to take
Whoa, Paimon can feel what you mean.
And you, Yuendai, is the mechanism... It appears she has already succumbed to the depths of reverie.
The drought is over. But why do you look like you want to cry?
The potion. It's nearly run its...
I've never regretted meeting you. Not even for a second.
Please. Please, no. Have you forgotten? This is the world you left behind. One of gentle breeze and morning dew. This is your home. This is where you belong. You should have never left.
So that is the truth. No wonder this place is so familiar.
Granny!
Granny, are you okay?
Cloud Retainer.
Your memories have returned.
Wait, did you just call her by her full name? You already knew each other?
Yes. I now remember.
Granny, please don't cry.
Oh, don't worry, my dear child. I'm so sorry, everyone. It's all come back to me now. The most important thing.
One can sense the guilt that now plagues your conscience.
No, it's okay. Shuyu, everyone, I can't.
Please, Granny, don't force yourself. What happened in the past doesn't matter.
I know, dear child. My feelings for you some time ago. I made a terrible mistake.
Is this the sin that you mentioned in Joyun Karst? What happened?
I am, in truth, not a human being. I spent many, many years living on Mount Outsong, bathing in the soft breeze, and though she never took me on as a formal disciple, I even contemplated completing my training and becoming an adeptus in...
50 years ago?
That's right. Master regaled me with many stories of her past deeds. From them, I learned how she had saved people. She was the one I looked up to the most. More than anything, I dreamt of becoming an adeptus like her. But I was still far from being a real adeptus. I possessed no ability. She warned me that the potion's effects would only last 10 years. And if I were to fail to return to my original form at the end of that time...
Oh no. So that was the source of your dementia all along?
Was it because of Grandpa?
Indeed. I fell in love. Though he was human, he had spent his entire life training him. Although clumsy and impulsive as he was, you'd think he was the real strange bird among the two of us. But still, just like me, he cared. I could not help but fall for him. But my time continued to tick away. Those 10 years passed.
Oh no, what happened?
I committed an offense. I wanted to stay with him, even if it meant living a life full of pain. I knew I had betrayed Master's hopes, but I was too ashamed to face her. So I was convinced that she would not support my decision, and I lacked the courage to speak to her face to face. In my shame, but that was only the beginning of my troubles. I began to suffer from a strange illness. My memories became hate. Along with my memories as a crane, I soon forgot the true cause of my suffering as well. Looking back, I was beyond lucky to have come across that traveling merchant at Wangshu Inn. It was such a fortunate coincidence.
Granny, what's wrong?
Coincidence? Why did I ever think it was a coincidence? Tea pills can... Master, don't tell me.
Human custom would dictate the conferral of gifts to be in order when one's progeny is wedded, would it not?
So when I tried to conceal my name and mistakes from the world...
One still remembers when you were but a fledgling. You possessed a certain fondness for... One found you with such ease every time.
Wait! Paimon's confused! So, Cloud Retainer, you found Yuendai again? But...
Perhaps it is now time for... One was furious upon receiving your letter. Seized with anger, one set out to bring you to your senses. Skyward! Scatter! Yeah! Skyward! Scatter! In truth, one had more than a few misgivings about your chosen partner. As an exorcist, But soon, one came to appreciate the devotion he bestowed upon you during your illness. He never uttered a complaint, and unwilling to begrudge someone of such character, wishing to grant you a life without regrets. One gathered many divine ingredients, and used one's own blood to create a form of As for how to deliver the medicine, after much contemplation, one took great care to alter one's features and select the appropriate attire. As one expected, you were most ignorant of one's true... One was quite torn. Skyward! Yeah! Skyward! Yeah! Skyward! Yeah! Skyward! Nevertheless, one would speak to you about another matter, if you are amenable. Even considering your loss of memory, one was simply flabbergasted that you could so easily forget the consequences of consuming medicine infused with adeptal blood. Its proclivity to attract monsters is hardly that complicated of a concept to remember. To think that you tried to travel while weak from sickness and heavy with child. Had one not intervened to clear the fog, all of you would have been lost during the night. Skyward! Scatter! Riveted! Make way for the Adeptus! Skyward! Scatter! Skyward! Scatter! Stray clouds converge! Scatter! Skyward! Those monsters would hardly have pursued... Sad godly remains, in turn. One was, after all, an active participant in the Archon War. In the end, one was relieved to see you endure through the night. At the break of dawn, one heard an infant's cry to see you happy. Now you should have a complete understanding of the events.
Wait, but if that's true, then the crane who took care of me when I was sick must also be...
Ah, one had almost neglected to recount the absurdities of that tale. Skyward! Scatter! Skyward! Scatter! Just as you and I troubled one with her aunt, upon finding you burning with fever, one made plans to bring you back to one's abode for treatment. When one asked you why, apparently you believed that one had no choice but to apply powder to one's body to conceal the variegated nature of one's appearance. You became more... It bears mentioning, however, that as a crane, Yuendai was nearly entirely pure white in color. Though you had never encountered her in that form, perhaps fate brought you two together. Now all has been revealed. One owes you an apology, you and I. One has always viewed you as a disciple of equal standing with Ganyu and Shenhe. Indeed, one could not reveal your identity right away. Had one simply informed you of all you had lost, all those cherished memories would merely have been... Memories are most meaningful when recalled by those who lived through them. Would you not agree?
Master, I must ask. If you found me all those years ago, why did you leave me be, even though you knew about my
One has never regarded your action as a mistake. When it is time for one's progeny to leave the nest, it is the responsibility of an elder to let them fly free. Yet, what 'tis a refuge referred to by many a name in mortal writing. One speaks, of course, of a place not unlike...
Thank you.
One expects you too have... 40 years ago, you chose a path without a future. Though one used one's own blood to provide you with a few... Even the power of an adeptus has its limits. Had your condition continued to deteriorate, fortunately, you were able to avoid that scenario by reclaiming your memories.
So, what's gonna happen to Granny?
One will help her reclaim her original form as a wild crane. If it be fated, she may
She's gotta go back to being a regular crane, huh?
Master, you've already done more than enough. I don't know how I could possibly repay your kindness. This is a better result than I...
Granny? Please don't leave, okay?
Don't be sad, dear child. Granny has led a wonderful life. Don't forget to eat well, okay? A growing young lady like yourself needs...
I promise, Granny.
Good girl. Good girl. Don't worry. I won't stop until I can turn into a human without having to rely on anything but my own power.
Good.
That's a good girl. Even though we won't see each other for a little while, as long...
I'll eat well, Granny. I promise. And I'll wait for you.
That's a good girl. I'm so sorry, Master.
Xiu.
Let her be. At her age, tears are a necessary part of maturation. Sometimes there is scarcely... Now that the issue has been resolved, you should also take a moment to...
always believed we would see each other again, that our days of separation would finally end, and all my troubles would be behind me. If only things could stay this way forever.
A nightmare? Curious. If you're relaxed, shouldn't your dreams be pleasant?
It was a good dream. It's just...
You weren't ready to wake up. Eloquent as one may be, words of comfort are not one's strong suit. You are doing all you can. One can see your strength of will, your fearlessness in the face of danger. And so, whatever your dream may be, one believes that you shall achieve it. Of course, whenever the perils you face overwhelm you, or you become weary, one is always here for you. After all, as an elder, it is only right to look out for the young ones.
Huh? Was Paimon sleeping just now? Oh, Paimon wasn't talking to you. Paimon had a dream about eating grilled chicken drump.
Madam...
Oh, Shuyu, you're awake. How do you feel?
I feel... a little better. Madam Adeptus?
Oh, and have you...
I know Granny thought what she did back then was wrong. She felt, but... without that mistake, I would have never been born. Even though Granny lost her memories, she never forgot to show me how much she loved me. I could become a cool Adeptus like you, and help a whole bunch of people.
Upon some reflection, one supposes you are no mere mortal. The fact that Yuendai's blood flows...
Thank you so much, Madam Adeptus. No,
Shuyu, are you sure about this? Paimon's gonna let you in on a little secret. We've seen Cloud Retainer's 2 other disciples, and they pretty much eat nothing but bitter herbs. If you join them, you'll never enjoy Wanmin Restaurant's delicious cooking ever again.
How utterly preposterous. One has never enforced such a rule. Every individual must find their own path to enlightenment. So long as one retains a...
Well, you say that, but Paimon's not seeing any tasty treats up here now.
Although Mount Outsong is rich in natural beauty, that is precisely why one plans to relocate to Liyue Harbor. Shuyu shall have the...
Whoa! You're leaving Mount Outsong?
One has never concerned oneself with the location of one's residence. Yet in the end, all of one's disciples ended up in Liyue Harbor. Ganyu. One has reflected on this fact for many years now. One can only one is most curious as to what aspect of Liyue Harbor could have enticed them to... Why are you all so silent?
Paimon is... just a bit shocked, that's all.
One has precious little time to squander. However, if one finds oneself... one will be assuming the identity of a human while residing in Liyue Harbor. You should...
Don't worry, we'll help you keep it a secret. So, when can we expect to start seeing you in...
Perhaps in 2 days' time. One has some matters to see to before one's departure. One has already picked out a handsome property near Chuhu Rock. 'Tis no small purchase, but
Seems like you've really thought of everything. Then how about we meet up in Liyue Harbor in 2 days?
a sensible plan. See you then. Oh, also, why don't you take this suspensus somnium mechanism as a souvenir?
Awesome! Thanks, Cloud Hey, didn't we promise Shincho that we'd tell him what we found out? Should we make a trip to the Fayun?
This is no time for distractions. Seriously, you have a great...
Your concerns are excessive and unfounded. This is...
To be quite honest, you're in what way are any of these ordinary? Every single item here could be worth more than everything I own combined. I have to be careful. Yes.
We're here, Cloud. Miss Shenyan.
Perfect timing. This ignoramus is questioning the... I'll have you know, these items have remained untouched in my...
Several...
Indeed. They're family heirlooms, you see.
Yep, they've definitely...
Hear that? Had I not found myself in need of Mora, I would scarcely have had the heart to part with them. Doubt their authenticity any further, and I may just decide to take them to another box.
Whoa! Please don't go! I apologize for any insult, miss. You see, I know full well that I lack...
An expert, you say? Very well. I will wait for a little while longer, then. Traveler, Paimon.
Master! Oh, it's you two again.
Shoo you! You got a new outfit! It looks...
Mm-hmm. Master made it for me. I like it.
Huh? You know how to make clothes?
Do I know how to make clothes? With the support of the proper mechanism.
Master, I brought in most of my stuff. There's a few boxes left, but they're kind of
Fret not. I shall help you move them into your room.
Actually, I should probably, sort through my stuff a bit first.
It appears my young apprentice... Now, this expert you mentioned.
Soon. Here, allow me to make some introductions. This is Mr. Zhongli, a well-respected consultant. Mr. Zhongli, this is Miss Shenyun. She's the one who's looking to sell the collection of valuables I mentioned earlier.
If it isn't Miss Shenyun.
Indeed, most serendipitous.
Quite well, thank you. I was fortunate enough over the past few days to enjoy both a stroll in the mountains.
So you two are all...
Indeed. How fortunate we are that fate has brought us together again. If you are otherwise unaware, allow me to inform you that Miss Shen...
You are too kind, Mr. Zhongli. True collectors pride themselves on their wealth of knowledge and eye for detail. I can say with...
Why, you flatter me, Miss Shenyun.
Not at all, Mr. Zhongli.
While I am loath to butt into this conversation, you two already knew each other, and you seem to have quite a cordial relationship.
A preposterous accusation! The heavens themselves would collapse.
Miss Shenyun speaks the truth. Contracts are built on honesty and trust.
Say no more. Let us depart.
I jest. What fool would still harbor doubts after Miss... I deeply apologize for doubting you. So, Miss...
There is no cause for concern. They are indeed rare and precious valuables. Take this mechanism, for instance. Though one may not immediately perceive, the same can be said for this one here. Few could hope to possess an... I am sure you have heard from your travels that the study of mechanisms is among the most wondrous arts in this world.
All right. Since I hired you as my... Then, in that case, Miss Shenyun, I'll take the lot. However, since the final sum is quite large, How about we...
The Northland Bank? Huh. Oh, you refer to the
I fear people only use the term bank nowadays. In the...
Zhongli!
My friends, have you...
We've been great! How about you? Paimon didn't know you were such a busy
My days have been quite pleasant as well. I had been quietly enjoying a cup of tea when... As for you, Miss Shenyun...
I must say, the name Shenyun sounds exceedingly...
Whatever for. Am I not addressing you as a friend?
Well, that is true, but... Alas, refer to me however you will.
It would seem that you have gained many
One has indeed. One's previous days were all brief. Now that one has made up one's mind to move and this city is much...
Not unlike the ocean tides, so too shall the movement of people ebb and flow. From turmoil to peace.
All right, that's enough reflection for one day. No need to get all...
You make a valid point, Paimon. Now that the sale has concluded, what say one plays the host?
Perhaps you have forgotten, Cloud Retainer, but I once tried my hand at that dish.
Oh? What a...
It was a reunion between friends several centuries ago. Alas, you must have been too preoccupied to secure yourself a...
Hardly. 'Twas most certainly out of consideration for the others in attendance. It is settled then. Bamboo shoot soup, mora meat, crab roe tofu, triple layered One has already passed word to Shenhe and Ganyu to make a reservation.
It should be a most splendid...
Shu Yu, come now, it is time to dine. Ah, this gentleman over here is Mr. Zhongli.
A humble employee of Wangsheng Funeral.
Nice to meet you too, Mr. Zhang.
That should be everyone, right? Let's go!
Sounds good. Actually, Master, have you ever tried Adeptus' temptation? I heard it's impossible to stop eating after even
That sounds rather implausible.